Glad to have you here. New venue. I'm excited. You guys like the food? Good stuff? All right. Thanks, Minsky's, Greg, everybody. We appreciate you guys getting all this out. It's good. Thank you. Well, it's the beginning of a new school year, and we have a lot of things going on, and I want you to hear about some of that from the coaches. So I'm not going to take the time to introduce each one of them individually. I'm going to talk about the order of how we'll talk today, but it's an exciting time. I just got back late last night or early this morning from conference meetings with the GLVC folks, so it's that time of year when everybody's getting excited and the athletic directors all get together and say, oh, who's doing this and who's doing that, and so it's a fun time. You make a few rules, you learn that we're all kind of in this together in college athletics, but it's good. So got back late from that last night, have a lot of events coming up, so I want the coaches to talk to you about those. We'll have Tom and then Carolyn, Jefferson, and then Sean. You all each introduce yourselves, talk a little bit about your teams. But first of all, I'm going to have Coach Holly come up. 2 weeks from this weekend is Homecoming Hall of Fame, and I want him to talk to you a little bit about this year's Hall of Fame class.
Welcome to everyone. It is a great day to be a Cardinal. Happy to be here. I would like to take a moment and introduce two of our new assistant coaches. Jimmy Williams, who played at Olathe East, and someplace in Olathe. I think they were the Pioneers. I'm taking a lot of heat for this, but not as much heat as he is taking for taking this job. Jimmy Williams, back there, put your hands together for Jimmy. And a familiar face to Cardinal fans, played at St. Pius High School, and for the Cardinals, graduated 2011. Very pleased to have Scott Selmeyer on staff this year. Our third assistant is Christian Hildebrandt, who will be at a luncheon a little bit later on. Appreciate Dr. Bailey giving me an opportunity to talk about the Hall of Fame. Saturday, October 3rd, is part of Homecoming. This group will be introduced at halftime, and then there will be a reception and dinner starting at 5 o'clock with the program at 6:30, all of that in the Yates Gill Student Union. We have 5 individuals going in, the first being Ben Blanton. Ben, as many of you know, was a 2-time All-American in baseball, 2-time Athlete of the Year at William Jewell. He and his family, along with 2 of our former players in basketball and their families, have moved to Turkey to spread the gospel. And so please keep all of them in your thoughts and prayers. That's I think they're very safe where they are. But Ben will not be here, but we've done a video for his presentation. Rick Cole was kind enough to do that. But Ben Blanton's one of the finest baseball players ever to play at William Jewell. We'll be honoring him. Shane DeVolt, one of the top football players, quarterback in the early 90s for the Cardinals, 2-time Offensive Player of the Year in the Heart of America Athletic Conference, will be inducted. He was also the Male Athlete of the Year in 1993. Jimmy Ray Haynes. Jimmy Ray played baseball for Coach Fluke, pitched a no-hitter against Iowa State University when he was a student here. Took them to the national tournament from the great state of Oklahoma, but did a great job with our baseball program. Kristen Neer, one of the most decorated women's soccer players in the history of our program. She was so good that she was featured in Faces in the Crowd in Sports Illustrated when she was a senior as the leading career scorer at any level, NCAA Division I, II, III, or NAIA. And so we're proud to honor her as a Hall of Famer. She was also a 2-time Athlete of the Year at William Jewell College. And then the final individual is Chris Sissel, who did a phenomenal job as the head men's and women's soccer coach, was National Coach of the Year, took both teams in various years to the Final Four. He's now the head women's coach at UMKC. I believe got Coach of the Year last year in the league that UMKC is in. And we fortunately, they're not playing on that day, and we can honor him, and he'll be back to be honored by us as a Hall of Famer. Two teams are going in. The 2003 women's soccer team, which Chris was the head coach. They went to the Final Four. Kristen Neer was on that team, so it'll be a great day, certainly, for women's soccer. And then the 1995-96 men's basketball team, which I was honored to be the coach of. That team won 30 games, had the National Player of the Year in Brooke Russell, and they reached the Final Four of the national tournament, NAI Division II, at Northwest Nazarene University in Nampa, Idaho. So it's going to be a great day. They'll be honored at halftime of the football game, and then the award ceremony begins at 6:30. Hope many of you can attend, but thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Tom Eisner. I'm the head men's and women's cross country coach as well as the head track and field coach here at Jewel. Hopefully I've been around long enough that at least to most of you I'm a familiar face even if you don't know me. But cross country season started off to a good start. We had our first meet a couple weeks ago. It was the Jewel Invitational. Had that on campus. A small meet focused mostly on just local area teams. Our women's program walked away with a first place finish in that. Led by freshman Danielle Rainier from California. The men's team was led by Chris Wood, the third place overall finish as a team. He is from Staley High School, so right down the road here. Following that, we got back from a meet on Friday, Forest Park Invitational, hosted by St. Louis University. In that meet, the women's team placed third behind Truman State and Lindenwood, and the men's team placed fourth behind those teams, as well as one other state or school from the east side of the state. But both teams exceptionally young right now, but very talented. We've got a lot of growing to do, but we basically returned everyone we had from last year and then added some more. So we're on the right step. We're doing a lot of 6 a.m. workouts, trying to beat the heat, trying to stay out of those 80, 90-degree temperatures. In fact, spent this morning doing a 4 and 5 mile threshold run out at Fountain Bluff while most of their peers were still in bed. So they're working hard. I'm real proud of them. But it's been a great season so far. We will go to our next, really our first key meet of the season, which will be the Roy Griak Invitational, hosted by the University of Minnesota. This, in fact, is one of the largest cross-country meets in the entire country, named for Minnesota coach Roy Griak, who recently passed away this summer. So I expect that the meet will be even bigger, just as coaches from around the country come to honor Coach Griak. So this will be the first time the women race the 6-kilometer race of the season, and the first time the men run the 8-kilometer race. So we're looking forward to a good turnout for there, and then really after that, we're only 4 weeks out of the Great Lakes Valley Conference Championships, which are going to be held in Kenosha, Wisconsin at the University of Wisconsin-Parkside. So really thankful to all you guys for your continued support of Cardinal Athletics. And, I know our student athletes, although they may not really completely understand and grasp the full vision and tradition that this school has, I can speak as an alum and say, it's a great opportunity for me to see so many alums still connected to the program, still coming back, still giving back in whatever way they can, whether it's through volunteering, through financial contributions. But I really appreciate you guys taking the time to be here today and for your continued support of our programs.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Rains. I'm the head volleyball coach here at Jewel. I'm going into my second year. And obviously I've been here for a year, and I'm still very excited about Jewel. And like Tom said, he's been here longer than I have. The traditions and the things about Cardinal Athletics are great, and I still love my home, and it's been a wonderful ride this first year. This year we've started off pretty strong. We had our first tournament down in Alabama, Huntsville. We went 1-3, and then the second weekend we were in southeastern Oklahoma, where we went 3-1. On Tuesday, we wrapped up our non-conference competition with Emporia State at home. It was our first home match, and we ended up losing in 4. One thing about the start to our season is it has been great because one of our big goals is if we're going to lose, we want to lose in 4 or 5. And all of our matches that we've ended up losing have been in extended sets except for one. So we continue to get our girls to try to extend every single point and every single match as much as we can. This year's team is very young. I have 9 new kids and 8 returners. So we started off with a lot of fresh faces and a lot of kids that were really excited to be here going into this season. We did have a couple injuries early, which has been, that happens, and as that always does. So I'm excited as the kids that got injured during preseason are starting to come back into our conference play when we start tomorrow at 7 p.m. at home. So we have some great standouts in both our returners and our freshmen, and it's just exciting to see them mix together a little bit. I have one freshman that has definitely stood out to us. She's our right side hitter. Her name's Rachel Meisinger, and she's from Omaha, Nebraska. She has led our team in most of her hitting stats every single match. She was a big surprise to us coming off of she was more of a basketball kid. Sorry, Coach Jill over there. So we were really excited when she got here and she started producing as much as she has. So we've seen a lot of competition in our gym and also looking at the teams that we've played. So we definitely have some high expectations from the young kids, and I just can't wait to get into the conference and really see where we stand. So does anybody have any questions at this time? Perfect. I covered it all. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Hi, I am Jefferson Robley. I am in my 5th year as head coach of men's and women's soccer. First off, it's great that we're gaining some. We have Chris Senior going into the Hall of Fame, Chris Sissel going into the Hall of Fame, and our 2003 women's team going into the Hall of Fame is fantastic. Those people in that team did great amounts of work for Williams Jewell College soccer, helping build it to where it is today. It's going to be an exciting time. Hopefully we have a lot more soccer players going to the Hall of Fame in the future. We've had some great teams here. We've started our conference play already. We've had some non-conference games as well. And our men's team currently is 1-3. We won our most recent game. We played Southwest Baptist on Tuesday. We won 4-1, had a really good win. We actually have, I believe, 5 different players who have scored already for our men's team, which is great. So early in the season, have a lot of people contributing. Our women's team is currently undefeated. We have 2 wins, no losses, and 2 ties. We have 4 different players who have scored goals already with the women's team, which is fantastic. Both our men's and women's teams, we have some good quality veterans that have been really helping us this year. We also have, I believe, 8 freshman women and 12 freshman men who have been very focused and been doing a very good job for us so far this season. We actually leave for Lebanon, Illinois at 2 o'clock today. We play McKendree on Friday and Illinois Springfield on Sunday to continue with our conference season. So we should have a very exciting weekend. Actually, news that just came out yesterday, our women's team is currently ranked 10th in the Midwest region. So we're regionally ranked, which is very exciting, getting that type of recognition. And we look forward to have exciting seasons in our very competitive GLVC conference. Any questions out there? No? All right. No. All right. Well, hey, thanks a lot. It's a great day to be a Cardinal. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sean Weigel. I'm the head football coach at Jewell. My first year, and I was hired January 15th to take over this role. And we had a lot of work to do with changing some culture and whatnot. And on behalf of the staff, I want to thank them for all their work. Raise your hand if you're in attendance. And they've done a tremendous job since that time, getting a lot of things put in place. And I would also like to take this opportunity to introduce our newest staff member, Cordell Upshaw. Coach Upshaw comes to us from southeastern Louisiana and then by way of southern Arkansas, so we're extremely excited to have him here. We're going on week 3. We opened the season at Drake University, playing a team from the Pioneer League. And when you get to the upper echelon of that league, you run into some pretty stout competition. We went up there 2 weeks ago and came up a little bit short in a 44-30 ball game that we saw a lot of really good things. We missed some scoring opportunities in the first half, about 4 of them to be exact, but went at halftime down 13-3. Really encouraged about the way the team came out and responded to some adjustments at halftime and got that ball game to a 29-23 ball game before we finished the game at 44-30. Last weekend had our home opener versus it was Colorado School of Mines. a team that we aspire to be like, a high academic institution that is a playoff caliber team. They were very strong again this year. They opened the season versus South Dakota Mines, and it was 49-14 at half. So they have a high-powered offense. We were down at half 21-7 and had them in some compromising positions early on, and the outlook could have been different. I was really excited for the second week in a row, the effort that our team gave, especially our defense. They have a quarterback that's a Harlan Hill type quarterback, and to put him on the turnover side of things early was important, and so there's a lot to build on. We're struggling with some things with this team regarding exactly how to practice to win, and we're addressing those things on a week-to-week basis. And it just seems like something new pops up each week, with preparation. That's some of the stuff, and culture-wise, we need to change, and we'll continue to do that. But the jury's still out. We've had some stiff competition to begin with, and we head to St. Joe. They're 1-1. So it's our first extended road trip. We're excited about it. This week of preparation was better than last. So all those things lead to good things happening on Saturday. And we'll continue to address that, but we're real excited about this opportunity. We speak victory every day, and we need to make that a reality this weekend. So any questions? None? Perfect. I won't answer injury questions or anything like that anyway. So welcome to the new coaches. Thank you.
Most obvious injury is Coach got injured himself last week with a collision with the official. I don't think you were going after him.
No.
Didn't have to worry about that. But Coach is on the DL a little bit, but we'll get him. Charlie's taking good care of him, I know. But thanks, coaches. Just a few other things I wanted to remember to talk to you about. Coach Holly talked about the Hall of Fame induction class that will be homecoming. That's coming up in 2 weeks from this weekend on October 2nd, 3rd, that weekend. We have some other things going on that weekend as well. A lot of our teams will have alumni events where they bring back their alumni and do inter-squad games. It's a time to bring a lot of alums back to campus, and we're hoping to have a lot of different groups from a lot of our sports teams. The other thing that we're hoping will happen, it's been shipped, whatever that means. I don't think it's coming by an Amazon drone, so it could be a while before it gets here. But we're getting a new scoreboard out at the stadium for football, and we're excited about that. Many of you will remember the name Dave Besor, who was a football coach here several years ago. Unfortunately, after Dave's tenure with us, he was killed in an automobile accident. The men who played for him during his time have been having a golf tournament for about 5 years or so to do something to honor Dave in his memory. And we talked about a variety of projects, but Coach Weigel got involved once he became our head coach, and the players who played for Besor are going to have paid for a new scoreboard that will be installed hopefully next week. So excited about that, and we'll have as part of the homecoming game, we'll also have a dedication ceremony, hoping to get a lot of football guys back from that group, hoping to have basketball and soccer, and hoping to really have a lot of alums back on that weekend. There is a golf tournament on Friday. It is not our athletic department fundraiser, but there is a golf tournament on Friday for folks that happen to be in town or want to get together with some of their alumni friends on Friday. So I encourage you to take advantage of that if you want to, or get some folks to do that out at Cardinal Hill. The other thing I'll just say overall, you heard from our fall sport coaches who are beginning to practice for their season. Next time you'll hear from Coach Goal. He's the winter sport. Basketball are also our winter sports. But all of our students are practicing. There is no off season anymore. Baseball's practicing. They're playing some fall games. Softball's practicing. Swimming, as I said. Tennis actually competes in the fall as well. They're going down to Emporia and Washburn tomorrow. Our golf teams are also play a fall season. So all of our students and all of our 20 sports are practicing right now. There is nobody that is sitting idly by. And when they're not out on the court doing something, they're lifting weights. I don't think Adam's here, our strength coach, but the Mabee Center is a busy place. And this fall, for the first time in a long time, I probably ever, we have more than 400 student athletes in our program. We came very close to the 400 mark last fall, but this year we do have about 413 student athletes in our 20 sports program. So got a lot of bodies out there, a lot of kids, and a lot of, you heard coaches talking about a lot of new kids. We have a lot of new kids, but a lot of the olders are still with us. So we'll we have a big group, and they're doing all really good things. The last thing I want to remind you about, not that some of us may really want it out there, but we are video streaming, or we're taping this, and it will be on our website. I want to remind you all to talk to other folks about our website. We video stream all of our home football games, many of our home soccer games, many of our home volleyball. We will video stream all of our home men's and women's basketball games, and later in the year, lots of softball and baseball. I think that this is a resource. I was just, like I said, at the conference meeting, and I was reminded what a resource this is for us and for our alumni and for folks that can't always come to our events. A lot of folks, I don't think, have revisited video streaming from maybe 5 or 6 years ago when the quality wasn't very good and you lost the connection all the time. Video streaming today can be just almost as good as your television. So for those of you who can't make it to our games, the GLVC as a conference has committed to video streaming all men's and women's basketball games this year. It's a conference requirement. We've been doing it for several years thanks to Rick Cole and his operation there, but every conference school will be video streaming. When we're on the road for an event, always look at our website. You can tell if the game is being streamed either by us or the place that we're going to be. So check for that, because it's a way to bring the Cardinals to you. Some of us have older friends that can't get out, or grandmas and grandpas of our players and that kind of thing. So I think it's an untapped resource for us that we don't quite get as much out of. So I just put that plug in because we do watch our viewership, and we did have our best viewership ever for football, second best last week with Colorado Mines. So encourage folks to do that. Again, the quality is very good. My mom can even use the computer well enough to get to it, I think, right, Mom? So you do sometimes educate people about how to do it, but once they figure it out, it's really good, and it really is a great resource. So encourage you to do that. We will be here on the third Thursday this month, next month, November. We skip December, or will we be here December, Lucas? We'll be here December, January, so we'll go through the school year, the third Thursday of every month. So thank you all again for coming. I know the coaches will hang around if you would like to ask them questions or say hello. So thank you very much.